What's going on, everybody? How's it hanging? How's it happening? You guys know what it is. This is Kevin from the Chord Progression podcast, brought to you by MSOTD Rocks, where rock and metal thrive. Happy Thursday, everybody. It is February 25th, our last episode of February. There's my tongue twister for the day. And today is another very special episode. And why is that? Because we have had 4 bands return to the podcast after 1 episode, and now this is number 5. They were the band that told us about their bassist jumping off of a roof in Mexico into a pool. They're the band that shotgun beers on the podcast live, and they are back for more. And why are they back for more? Because as of February 26, 2021, their initial EP, Dog Days, releases, and let me tell you, we go over it. We get into some good stuff, especially when we talk about their third song, We'll Be Fine. Oh my Lord. We go on full rants about people that kind of scoff at you, people that just like, oh, why are they on this and why are they performing? No. We go all in deep on that. So please welcome back our Diego and Dead Boy from the band Expecting Perfection. Are you guys ready? Because I sure as hell am. So let's go. Yeah. Well, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, listeners of the Chord Progression podcast, to date, we have had 4 bands return to the podcast more than once. We've had King Collapse, GFM, Generation Underground, and the band Rosie, and now this is number 5, coming for their second episode with the release of their EP, Dog Days, coming out on February 26th. Please welcome the band Expecting Perfection. So guys, welcome to the Chord Progression podcast.
What's up? Thanks for having us.
Hell yeah. Love being here.
Thanks for being on. And oh shoot, yes, the beer is already out. I'm expecting at least one, probably like a shotgun during this podcast.
Yeah, that's what they're for.
Very similar to what we did the last time.
We're ready.
Oh, you guys are ready. Oh, the Shiner too. Okay, now this is just bringing me back to June already when we did this the last time. So this seems right. I'm not gonna lie. This just feels right.
Oh yeah.
So before we really jump into it, though, always going to ask you guys to introduce yourselves once again, just because I'm not necessarily sure who watched the first one. And if they're watching the second one, I want to make sure they know who you are. Because you already answered the crazy question the first time, I'm not going to make you do it the second time. So just introduce everybody with your names and what you do in the band Expecting Perfection.
All right. Well, I'm Adi. I play guitar in the band.
I'm Pancho, the bassist.
Diego, drummer.
And our vocalist, Luis, is not here because he's tattooing in Angelo.
Yeah,
Yep.
He got a new job. So he's tattooing in Angelo.
Ooh, nice. I was about to say, wait, where the heck is Luis at this point? Because, but I was looking through a bunch of stuff that he had going on, like on Instagram. I saw he was doing a bunch of tattoo work as well. So I'm like, okay, if he's going to be tattooing right now, that makes a lot of sense. So can't knock the guy for also going after his dream, but outside of Expecting Perfection, which is tattooing.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Plus, then you guys can go on the road and you can have him bring all his stuff with him, and then just have like you guys perform, and then he can tattoo right after as well.
Oh hell yeah.
Yeah, he's talked about that actually. I know he wants to do that for special occasions. So yeah.
I've seen people do that before, and I've seen it work out. So it's not something that's impossible.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Be kind of cool to see that happen though, and maybe actually get my first tattoo ever from Luis. You never know.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. He'd be on it.
Honestly, he would.
He would.
I'd probably be like, oh, okay, what do you want? Knowing me, I'd probably want something stupid like Donald Duck smoking a doobie tattooed right on my ass just because I think it's hilarious. But
He would love that.
He will do that.
He would do that in a heartbeat.
No questions asked.
I'm pretty sure he'd end up like putting like a little signature on the bottom of it to be like, yeah, I made this.
Honestly, yeah. Just LE.
We're like, who the heck is LE? Guys, let me tell you this story. So, lead singer of this band that I'm very much enjoying their music on, end up tattooing this tattoo on my ass, and he signed it because why not?
Mm-hmm.
Shit.
We'll see. But, well, because I had you guys in the podcast back in around middle of June, and it is February right now, so it's about 8 months since. So I got to ask the question, what have you guys been up to lately during this time of, second half of 2020, early 2021, with, of course, still the pandemic going on? What's been going on with Expecting Perfection? I got to know this.
Well, we've been writing for sure ever since Texas kind of like lifted some stuff. We're able to chill out, be more open, stuff like that. We've been writing music. We basically have a whole album almost done. We just got to go in and get some demos set for
beyond
that.
what's already coming up.
Yeah.
We're ready already.
Yeah, we're probably like on like 7 solid songs right now. So I
Mhm.
think we just need like one more, and I think we're good for that before we hit the studio again and get that going. But we've been writing some stuff. We played a couple live stream shows, or just one live stream show.
Yeah.
Yeah, for Noise for Toys, for a local to help families out in need and stuff like that.
We actually played 2 of the new songs on there.
Oh yeah,
Oh, yeah.
definitely.
Which did you play on there?
We played.
The Fear and Antisocial.
Yeah, those 2 songs are like all-time favorites from that new material we're working on.
Oh yeah.
Antisocial and The
Oh.
Fear go-tos. We were like, we can't keep this from people, so we've been.
Yeah, we're just too
We
excited.
had it to play.
Yeah.
Hey, you can't keep for people. You gotta let them hear it. So, are those 7 songs that you talked about? Are those in addition to what's already going to be on the Dog Days EP, or is that including what's going to be on the Dog Days EP?
It's in addition. So like the album's gonna be a whole different. It's like a whole new 7 songs nobody's ever heard, not even locally, nothing.
Yeah.
Like, well, besides that
Those two.
live
Only
stream.
2 songs I haven't heard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The rest are kind of still.
Yeah, they're just
Oh,
sitting.
and they're not ready. They're not
Ugh.
ready.
Yeah,
They're still in the development stage right now. They still got to get perfected.
Oh no, like
like
it's
y'all aren't
fucking
ready.
good.
Yeah.
Oh,
Y'all
we're
aren't
not
ready.
ready.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, if we're not ready for that, I mean, but people still have to listen to this EP first off because that's what's coming out
We gotta
next.
ease them into it.
Yeah, we got to
Yeah.
ease them into it. And, well, the first thing I saw with the EP was the fact that you guys put June Lied back on that EP as well, which I think is a fantastic move. Because I remember when you guys came out with that song and I listened to it, and I was literally sitting at my desk after I got back from vacation. And I was just sitting here thinking, there was that one line that just stuck out to me more than anything else. And I kind of just went absolutely crazy over it. And I remember messaging you guys back like, hey, this line just stuck out to me like crazy. And yeah, I still got to ask, how'd you come up with that line? Was it, I'm not sorry that he cheated. I'm not sorry that you cheated. I'm just sorry that he's not me. That line was absolutely my favorite line probably of 2020. One of my favorite lines of all time, actually, in a song. It just stuck out so well in that pre-chorus. And oh my God.
Oh.
It was perfect.
I don't even know how like really came up with that. I know we were coming up with last minute lyrics because we were like,
Wow. Back in 2015.
yeah, back in 2015, we were about to not even we redid the song after it was already written, and we were like, nah, these lyrics are kind of trash. Like I was just singing whatever just to get some material out to play some
Freestyle.
shows. So I was like, I'll
freestyle.
freestyle it when I was a singer at the time, which is a horrible time. We don't talk about it. But
I drink to the.
but we I think we were just like, instead of June Lied being about, which funny story, June Lied was actually about the fact that we were pissed that Luis had to leave the band early in high school. So we were like, June lied to us because Luis left. Like, like we were just being stupid. We
were just teens.
we
teens.
were teenagers, all stupid, just like, nah, fuck him, like, but
The whole thing changed.
yeah, I was like, you know what if it's about a relationship, but instead of like a sad breakup song, it's like a fuck you breakup song. And I've had those feelings where it's like, yeah, I was hurt that I got cheated on, but like, I don't know, like just kind of like having that cocky sense thrown in there, because you really don't normally see people like getting cheated on being cocky about it, which personally I'm not like that, but
It just fit the
but
mood.
it just fit the mood because it's just
Yeah.
so like carefree. So yeah,
Yeah.
that's just how it happened, honestly. And then we were like, okay, I guess.
This is the song.
Yeah.
And it's one of the like most favorite songs of mine to play live.
Oh, I don't blame you for it being one of your most favorite songs to play live. It has a great sound to it overall, kind of, and more of that, like, it's like a looser pop punk kind of style track that has a little bit more of that, like, a little tidbit of like the darker emo feel in it, but it has that like cockiness behind it, especially with the way the lyrics are delivered from Luis, especially how you wrote them, Ari. So it makes a lot of sense that has that route in terms of a breakup song, but you're cocky about it and you're confident about it, where you're not like, okay, also instead of being like, oh my God, I'm so sad, why is everybody coming on me? You're just like, yeah, I got cheated on. Fuck that person. Who gives a shit? I'm better off without him anyway.
Oh yeah.
And
That's how it should be. Anyway, bro.
Yeah, honestly, if they're looking for other people, then it's like shit. Like,
Yeah, they're the problem, not you.
Yeah. I mean, in some cases, I know some people can argue.
Well, yeah,
Yeah. It's okay.
for the majority of the cases,
In our cases.
if they hurt you, fuck them.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course it's going to be on a case by case basis and how everyone looks at it within themselves as well. However, I do like the fact that you kind of went with that style as well, mostly because when I listen to a lot of songs with more in rock and metal, especially with like in the pop punk sense as well, when they're talking about those relationships kind of deteriorating, it's always kind of have like this kind of just, oh, woe is me feel to it, where especially a little bit more of the pop sense right now. There are those breakup songs where it's a little bit more of that confidence built behind it as well, but there is never really like a blatant like fuck you moment right in there. Within this one, just with that line in the second pre-chorus that just sticks out in my mind every single time I hear that song, and every single time I think of Expecting Perfection, that line just pops into my head all the time. And it's just something where I'm like, if this is gonna be the line that pops in my head all the time, I am not mad about this whatsoever, because that song was fantastic. It fits so well in there, especially with how everyone kind of had like a little bit of like a chanting vocal part in there as well, just to kind of back up Luis. It just made it hit with so much more power behind it. And then loved more of the melodic instrumentation behind it, just made those vocals stand out even more.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Like when you go through a breakup, you got your homies. So you got to get your homies in the chat.
Or just in the pool, just going crazy and just throwing everybody around like you guys did in the music video, which was, I actually really like the idea behind it, by the way, as well, because it kind of had more of that like lighter feel to it as well, but everyone's just hanging out, being friends, having a good time. What more would you want?
Yeah.
Oh, true.
Heck yeah, during summer, just being fucked up in a pool with a whole bunch of kids' toys, and we're in our 20s. That's the best way.
Bro, I don't ever want to grow up.
You're grown.
And so you'd be surprised, though. I mean, that just sounds like a fantastic idea. There was one day I randomly, just instinctively, or just on impulse, I should say, bought one of those giant inflatable mechanical bowls that you put in a pool or put in a lake, and people just like shake it around, and there's people on top of this like inflatable bowl, and you're just like flopping around everywhere trying to stay on. I've never actually used it though. I just bought it on impulse. I'm like, man, this is gonna be a great time to use this, but no one has a pool right now, so no.
Damn. Well, at least you have it. Like, in
Shoot, it could make a feature in an EP video at some point.
Imagine.
July 2.0.
June Light V2. Some.
I'll say if it makes a feature, I just need to make sure that you jump off the roof and into the pool at some point.
You have to jump right into it.
I'll do a flip.
Land on the ball.
Do a flip, land on the ball. Oh, we got a good idea going here.
I can totally do that.
Just cup yourself.
Just give me a few of these. I'm good.
You might need more than a few. You might need like 7 or 8 before you're like, okay, it's a good idea. Well, actually, no, you're going to need none for it. No, it's a good idea. Probably 8 to really just like fully execute it and not feel any pain from just smacking in the water. Or just like if you misjudge it and just like hit the bowl really weird.
Yeah, just a couple beers, bottle jack. That's all I need.
Redone. You need a redo.
Yeah, he literally will do anything. Sometimes he doesn't even need anything in his system. He'll just go and do it.
Yeah, that's what I do.
Bro.
I'm kind of a little worried sometimes, but then I'm like, he survived. He won't do something he doesn't think he can do.
Yeah, like if you go back down in my Instagram page, you see me breaking a Dos Equis bottle with my head.
The window to the practice space.
Oh, I broke the window to our practice space too with my head.
Yeah.
So now I have basically free AC behind me.
Honestly, there's just all like there's just this draft constantly. It just sucks during the winter, but
yeah, I don't know. I like cold.
Yeah. I'll say if you guys like cold, come up by where I'm at right now, because I mean we've got a bunch of snow, we got a bunch of cold weather. You'll absolutely love it. Maybe not, but
oh no, yeah,
I love the cold weather.
Well, unfortunately, because there's really no shows going on up here in Wisconsin right now, so that kind of wouldn't be the best idea. Because I'd say if Expecting Perfection is going to come to Wisconsin, I want it also to be for a show as well, so that we can get more people to watch you guys live, more people to get exposed to your music, and then of course start some fun mosh pits up there, and then just see what the hell happens. Because I mean, you guys know I'm gonna be the person in the middle of that, just like going woo. And if I get knocked on my ass and of course start bleeding for some reason, don't worry, I'm okay.
Oh yeah.
Luis would just be like, Kevin, is he okay? Good.
Kevin, no.
I'm not sorry that. Like he just continues.
Wait, hold the song.
Like I'll just be like flat. I'll be like flat in their arms and Luis. Kevin, are you okay? You're just gonna start seeing like a hand go up with a thumb, just thumbs up. Okay, he's good. He's not moving, but he put the thumb up. He's good.
Oh yeah.
Shit.
Well, I mean, with June Lie, that is only one of the songs that is on the Dog Days EP, as well as there are 5 songs on there. And I got to ask a couple of questions about how you guys came up with some of these songs, just because I went through and tried to. I'm going to end up putting out a full EP review on this EP as well for our YouTube channel, along with this podcast as well, so that when it comes to people getting exposed to Expecting Perfection, getting people more to know about the EP and to listen to it when it comes out on February 26th. That's a plug right there for all you folks. You guys are really in the know of what this EP is all about, how it was made, how it was constructed, what I think of it, and then just really can get into it. So I got to ask, what was the inspiration behind some of these songs as well? Specifically, the one I want to start out with is the titular track, Dog Days, because this one was the one that had me the most surprised, honestly.
Oh, shit. Well, that song, that was probably one of the last songs we wrote, because all of these songs were written during the time that we were getting that first show back in 2015.
2016.
And we had to write all these songs to play the show, because we wanted to have our own content, and we got asked to play the show and we had 0 content. So we're like, oh, we got to pull our shit together. So that's where the whole "fuck you, Louise, June lied to us" thing came into play. But Dog Days wasn't written until a year and a half.
It was
later?
after we kind of wrote already 6 songs.
So a year and a half later.
A year and a half.
Probably around 2016, 17, 16 actually.
16.
I was playing around with some chords and I just came up with that first riff, the that little second guitar that you kind of hear in the mix a bit. And I just brought that up, and the guitarist at the time was like, yo, that sounds cool. And we just kind of threw it together. And of course I needed to find some type of because I was also singing at that time still too. So I was like, well, what kind of mood should this be? We've written a fuck you song, we've written a a fuck you breakup song, we've written some other songs and all that stuff. So it's let's do something that's not really about breakups, but more about what happens after the fact. So getting over you get that little wave of depression, I guess you could say, not really diagnosed, but just you're
satisfied,
you're satisfied, you're beating yourself up over all this stupid shit that it's not going to mean anything 2 to 3 years later. And I just wrote it in the sense hey, what about getting over that kind of seasonal depression, but you happen to get that seasonal depression in the summer? So it's just kind of saying, because, you think about summer, especially when you're in school, you're I should be having fun. School's about getting to hang out with your friends.
Nachos.
Freaking, just going out, having a good time, forgetting that you're going to school and all this shit. And here you are, you have this
stuck at home, just being sad, thinking about a person that you're not over with.
Yeah, so it's just kind of talking about getting over that seasonal depression at the rate of summer, which Dog Days is another word for summer. So it's at the rate of summer, Dog Days rate. So that's where that comes from. And then it's just kind of towards the end, it's your friends saying do it for me, do it for yourself, and do it for everybody. Any little bit, whether it's getting up out of bed, whether it's you brushed your teeth today or washed your hair, I don't give a shit. At least it's it's progress towards getting better. You're fine, dude. And then you just make that promise to yourself, I'll be better. And then so that's basically what that song's about.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting, because of course when I go through these songs, I go in as deep as I possibly can. I always start trying to figure out the meaning of the songs, and what I wrote down for the meaning of this one, I kind of came close to what you said, where I thought it was about kind of something similar where we're feeling down about ourselves, but where I kind of went a little bit different was instead of trying to take a look back and think about what was what was used to be good and wanting to go back to that, what you should focus on is how you can bring back those good times, but in the future, instead of just waiting on the past and be oh, I wish I could go back to the past, where you're talking about getting over that depression, kind of getting past a breakup. I mean, I've dealt with this completely to the degree where I've just completely almost lost it. So this kind of resonated really well with me. So I totally understand that, but it was that wasn't the thing that got me. It was just the sound of the instrumentals that was really what got me. Because I gotta just give me 1 second, because I gotta pull out something for you guys. Where the heck did I have it? It's somewhere over here. Nope, it's not that one. That's not that one. Am I missing it? It shouldn't be. Well, now this is silly. I should have had this prepared. Shoot. Is that it? Yep. Okay. So I had to go to my good old vinyl collection because when I heard this song, the first thing that came to mind was one band, but also a specific album from that one band. And that band happens to be my favorite band of all time. This is what I thought it sounded like. Was something off of, let me put it up there. Rise Against, third album, Siren Song of the Counterculture. When I listened to it, like right away, I just was because I mean, the intro, when it comes in heavy and fast, it feels like a punk rock track with rapid drums and the heavier distortion and guitars being right in tune with the rest of the drums, but it's like, still heavy. I'm like, this reminded me exactly something off, of course, Siren Song of the Counterculture. So, especially with me being such a big Rise Against fan, I am instantly drawn to something like this. Like, this was just like, holy shit, are they going with this route? What the hell is this? Are you serious? No, you can't be doing this to me. No. And then after that, I thought, I just hope this is damn good because I love Rise Against. I hope this is like on par with that kind of quality. So I was just thinking this better be it. And you know, I'm just not gonna be like dragging this out anymore. I thought it was absolutely on par with the quality overall, especially with the instrumentals.
Yeah.
Sick.
Fuck yeah.
Thanks. I mean, that means a lot. Shit.
We just got compared to Rise Against. On my stream. I love that album.
That's really good.
Mm-hmm.
No, yeah, I mean, I love almost every single one of their albums, but it's like I'm taking a look at. Of course, you got great songs. This one, like First Drop, Paper Wings, Rumors of My Demise, Something Greatly Exaggerated, Swing Life Away, Dance for Rain, Give It All. Like, there's a shit ton of them on here. I'm just taking a look, literally reading them off the back of the vinyl right now, but I could have probably pulled them off the top of my head anyway. However, I mean, when I listen to this, again, like I said, the quality, I thought, of course, if it's going to be something I got to compare to Rise Against, I've got to be like, especially for me, very nitpicking, very meticulous on this. But even trying to be nitpicking, meticulous on it, I couldn't find anything but good qualities about this song.
Oh, yeah.
Shit.
You're going to make me blush.
But I mean, I'm not kidding, because especially when you get to the chorus, I loved how the drums stayed heavier with like a more like burst style, but like not as heavy in like a metalcore sense, more of like a punk rock burst style. But the guitars play the same style they did in the intro, and I'm a huge fan because it keeps that overall energy and pace up, and it has this great punk inspired feel to it, but a little bit more of like not like the raw punk style of like especially bands that really started out the punk movement like Sex Pistols, Dead Kennedys, or bands that kind of still have that raw feel to them like Anti-Flag or Pennywise. But it had more of like a polished punk sense to it, which is kind of the term I kind of came up for the Rise Against style punk, because I didn't want to just say, oh, it sounds like Rise Against. Like, it has like this like polished quality to it, but it's still heavy in your face and raw at the exact same time. And when you came to the chorus, like, it absolutely nailed every aspect of this.
Oh yeah,
fuck yeah.
Heck yeah.
I'll say, just to get more people into this song as well, I absolutely love of course, the verses as well, because we got a complete change with the drumming. It didn't play nearly as heavy, but it kept this consistent beat, and the guitars played the heavier distorted tone and really let it come in with more of this calm overall sound to let Luis's vocals really take charge on this. And I love the move on this because, again, it's a very Rise Against style move, and I'm all for it because it lets that insane, more punk rock style chorus just stand out with the rapid drumming, and it plays the contrast game very well. Plus, I've seen Rise Against play this off a lot in their career, and it's very easy to get lost in that. And in terms of like writing it out and then just be like, okay, kind of just like losing the song after that. And you guys didn't lose the song after that in any sense of the word. It was something that was crazy. Also, the construction of it, where it wasn't like a very classic like verse chorus sound. There was a lot of moving parts here, and just the fact that it was done in that sound. Even at the end of the whole entire thing, especially with the outro, where you end it with just the heavy drumming, crazy fills of guitars using that same like siren sound of the counterculture distortion. I was like, holy crap, does this take you for a ride? And I am all in for this. In one sense of the word, I mean, after listening to this, my whole entire words were just, holy shit! How in the hell were they able to take the sound that I absolutely love, make it their own, and make it just as good? I have no idea about it, but yeah. I've probably listened to the song since I got it sent to me. I think I'm at the time of recording this, like maybe 11 or 12 times overall. Probably more. I'm not necessarily sure, but out of all the songs, it's probably the one I've listened to the most, honestly, because it was just, it just blew me away with the quality of it.
Damn, well, it's highly appreciated. We were blown away too, just by we would get a lot of compliments on the song. We play it live, but hearing it actually with studio quality, getting everything, all the levels evened out, all of that, it when getting that final mix back, it was just like, oh
yeah.
shit. Like, like we were just, if we were oh shit to our own shit, we're like, okay, this is like,
good shit.
like we're like
good shit.
Not trying to be like a dick or anything, but it's just like
you know
like,
what you like and you make what you like.
Yeah, like it's not meant to be in a cocky sense. It's just like, oh shit, like we're surprised.
Impressed.
Like it sounded like a whole different, like not
band.
like a whole different song, but just like from how we were used to hearing it.
Yeah, we were just used to live.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I guess it's just satisfaction, because in this room we actually recorded the first demo of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then hearing it professionally made, it's actually like, wow, we come a long way.
Eargasm.
Yes.
It was intense. And also, fun fact, that last bit where Luis screams, "Give me some hope." I was sitting in there while he was doing that last bit of vocals, because I had to track some backing stuff for that song. And so we were in there, and I think out of nowhere, like Luis was saying, like we were talking about possibly putting something like let's shout something there. I'm like, I was about to say, I feel like something needs to be shouted there, because it's like a whole build up, so it's like, what do we do? And I'm just like, well, just give me some hope. And then he was like, okay. And then Chris, like the producer, was like, okay. He flips around in his chair. Can you hear yourself? Luis is like, yeah, man. Boom. And he just screams, give me some hope. And it fit. So it probably only took like 1 or 2 takes, and just immediate, just was randomly like, okay, we'll put it in there. Little sprinkle, salt and pepper. Yeah. So that's just a little fun sprinkle. Fact, just like, give me some hope. That's it.
But that scream at the end really tied this song together as a whole. And that is one thing that I've always said, especially on this podcast talking about music, is when you're creating music and something just comes and it feels natural, go with it, run with it. Because if you think it's going to feel natural, listen to it and put it in the song and see what happens. If it works, like it did here, absolutely go with it. If it doesn't, then, you tried it and but when you let the songs kind of come naturally and really construct in that own way, that's where you're going to get something like this to actually happen. So I absolutely applaud you for doing that, making that move. And all of a sudden it's like, okay, give me some hope. All right, we're going to do this. Ah!
Yeah, man, we never force anything.
Yeah, that's how we approach, even before like Luis and Pancho were in the band, and also after now that we're writing new material for the other album, we always stick with that, where it's like, if we're writing and we want to write, and if no ideas are coming to us and we're literally forcing ourselves and our minds to just dance all over the fretboard and we're just really trying to find something, it's like, you know what? We probably need a break, or we need to wait another day, or this idea is good, but we'll push it aside for another song, or we'll just write a totally different song. So never, ever once, like all of these songs have spontaneously been written in like a day.
One of them even was just a jam session and was just there on accident.
Yeah, for the new
for
the new one.
Yeah, for the new album in the future.
That one's for later.
Yeah. That one's for later. That one's going to be discussed on a different podcast episode, mind you.
A little teaser here and there.
Yeah. We'll drop a little bit of teasers in there, but of course, I mean, the Dog Days EP is definitely going to be the core of it all, just because, well, that's the thing that's coming out most recently. That's the thing that people are going to be able to listen to. So when it comes to Dog Days EP, I mean, we've already talked about the titular track, which is at the end of the EP. We've talked about the first track with June Lied, with the fact that, I mean, that line is just, it still stands out to me as one of my favorite lines of all time. It was so perfectly placed in there. And then also with the Dog Days song, I mean, I got something that had like a loose pop punk, and all of a sudden I'm gonna get something that has this 2004 Rise Against feel to it. That, of course, like I said, I'm gonna be nitpicky through the whole entire thing. That's my favorite band, and I had nothing but positive things to say about the song. So yeah, take it from me. When the EP comes out, like, you're gonna want to listen through this whole entire thing. Because it's gonna start with June Light, it's gonna end with Dog Days. You're gonna get stuff in the middle as well, which we're gonna talk about next, of course, because, well, it's the EP. That's what we're talking about here. But this is going to be somewhere I'll put it this way. You're going to start out happy and you're going to end happy. Trust me on this. And that's what I did. And it was good. It was a good feeling.
Happy endings all around.
I was hoping someone was gonna say that, and I'm glad you guys did. So, thank you. But also, one thing that I did kind of discover during this EP was, especially with what you guys had put out beforehand and with this EP, I'm trying to figure out, okay, is Expecting Perfection, when it comes to that like core sound, that bass sound that they have, can I kind of pick it out here? Or are they still trying to discover what that is? Because whenever I listen to like bands that are absolutely just massive, they always have something at their core, and then they're able to branch off of that and really go from there. Kind of, I'll use Bring Me the Horizon as an example, where when they had that, like, they started with that deathcore feel, but they kind of transitioned to other spots. They still had that innate raw and roughness to their sound. So when they came out with the Posthumous Survival Horror EP, like, they mixing a bunch of random stuff in there, like even with like a J-pop kind of influence metalcore track with Bay Metal, and it absolutely worked out well. So I'm like, is there a core sound here? And I think my answer is yes, I found it, and I love what I found. Because the reason what I thought was, especially listening to songs, there, like I said, there's like a loose pop punk flavor to each of them. However, when I say loose, it's just the core. That's kind of the core, but because it's so loose, you're able to go off in so many different directions. Like with Dog Days, with that like rise against polished punk style feel, and then with July, with more of this like more cocky in your face, a little bit more of a deeper pop punk kind of track. Like, it just absolutely worked out well. And then even as we got through some more of these, like there was a couple more like pop punk style tracks, a couple more emo feeling style tracks as well. But it all worked out well, and it was all still connected within each song and through the whole entire EP. It didn't feel like there was anything that was incredibly out of place. Everything felt connected through this whole entire EP. So that was one thing I absolutely liked about this, where going forward, I'm like, okay, I know they know what they're doing. I know they have their sound down to their core. And I know that they're able to branch off of that in so many different places. So when it comes to the future, just outside of this EP, like kind of, what's the best way to put it? Like, I'm gonna go with Dogecoin in this one. Your future to the moon. had to throw in a Wall Street reference there. Wall Street bets. Woo!
Goddamn.
So going into how about we go into another track, just because I want to see what you guys have to say about that. We'll start out with the second track on the EP with Will Be Fine. So when it came to this one, what was the full inspiration behind it? How'd you guys make this track? What was it feeling like? And when you play this one live, what's usually the reception for this? I know probably haven't played live in a while though, but you know, maybe you guys play live. I don't know. I kind of hope so.
The most recent live stream was actually kind of live because there was like people in the audience.
Oh yeah,
that song was really fun to play too. Like, it's more like stuff for me to do on the bass.
Yeah, I know that song early on because mostly the inspiration behind it was kind of like we wanted to write about, like, you know, how there's a lot of these bands in the scene who, like, you know, everybody's doing their own thing, everybody's just having fun, but like, you know, people look at us and like we were going to be a new band coming out and we were young, so it's like, I know like there's a lot of people, like, you know, your parents, like they're like, you want to be in a band, you're barely like 16 or whatever, you know, and then all these older people in the scene, they're like, oh, you want to start a band, little boy or little girl or little whatever, like, you know, like you little shit, yeah. Like, you know, and so it's just kind of like that thing where it's like everybody's usually shitting on their, like, where they come from, but in essence it's kind of like inspiration for those who, like, because there's a lot of people out there that are creative and are in very small, like seriously small towns that they're like, they've got no way to give themselves traction, and it's just kind of inspiration towards that. And I remember when we first played that song, people gave us shit. Like, whenever we introduced the song, we were like, this song is about this town right here, Del Rio, and that anything's possible. And as soon as we said that,
we were getting looks. Like,
people, like all like the people who were most, like, people bow down to them in the scene, scoff. Like, we literally heard audible scoffs at us and like, oh, okay, like, you know, like, you know, oh, whatever, like, cool, they really think that they're onto something. And it's like, you know, and that's always stuck with me, that song. Like, I'll never forget it. But like, I always just think about, you know, like writing it and just sticking with the meaning behind it, because people are still going to scoff. People still scoff at us today, like in this day and age, calling us out because we don't have like good equipment, and that makes us like,
or cowbell.
Yeah. like you know, like it's like we don't have stack amps or whatever, but it's like, hey, we're out here playing with our hearts, and you know, a lot of the right people are going to, you know, recognize that, you know. But that memory's just always stuck with me with that song. And it's just kind of like, it's funny how it's like, this song's about we can do anything in this small town, and then literally the reason like why we can, like we're having a hard time expanding is because of the people like in here scoffing at us because we're paying
Different.
like, what is it, homage or homage? I don't know how you say that word.
Homage.
To, you know, to where we're from, that people look at Del Rio and they're like, armpit of Texas my ass, you know, like, or whatever, you know.
That's true.
Yeah. But yeah, so that's just what always stuck with me with that song. But that song's really just about, you know, like, give me a reason to give up, literally. That
just throw the best you had at us.
Yeah. And then it's just kind of like during the chorus, it's just like, hey, it's okay, because we've all had our separate doubts. Even I'm pretty sure him, when he was in his old band Shattered Side at the time, when we were both equally starting up, like we've all as individuals had that, like, you know, like that doubt, like, you know, is this even worth it? But here we are, we dropped out of college to do this full time, have shitty jobs to do this full time. So we live up to that song, I guess.
Yeah, we'll be fine.
Yeah, we'll be fine.
I would say that's the perfect title for it. Now, I got to go on a little bit of a rant on this. So especially for people that are listening to this, and also with other bands that are more coming from the same kind of style that you're coming from a smaller town, and just aren't necessarily getting the support, I got to speak to this and rant a little bit about this. So the reason I have to is just because you take a look, I've taken a look at a lot of the bands that I've spoken to as well. And a lot of times, you know, they're not from the biggest towns as well. They're from a lot of smaller towns. Talked to bands from smaller towns in like North Carolina, Indiana. Hell, there was one band that reached out to me. They've got a great sound, and they're from like the most eastern part of Russia you can possibly imagine. And no one cares about any kind of music there outside of like traditional Russian music. So I'm just thinking, okay, and people might be scoffing at you trying to play a live show like they were with you. But the fact of the matter is think about any other band. They all start out the exact same way. They started out playing with not the best equipment. They started out playing in smaller venues, started out playing in smaller towns. Hell, do you think anyone from Iowa initially thought that Slipknot was going to be one of the biggest metal bands of all time because they came from Iowa? Hell no. And you want to know what probably happened after Slipknot made it, like, started making it big? The people that scoffed at them at those shows, similar to the people that are scoffing at you at those shows, were the people that after they made it big were like, oh my God, they're from our area. We know them. Oh my God, I saw them play back in the early 80s. And they're going to be so happy, and they're going to try and latch onto that success as well. When in the beginning stage of it, they were scoffing at you because they didn't think that you had what it takes. They didn't really think like, oh, they're talking good about Del Rio. Oh, nothing good ever happens here. You know what? Fuck that. You want to know why? Because honestly, the people that are scoffing at you, they're probably not doing anything anyway. They're probably miserable with their own lives. At that point, they're trying to transfer that misery onto you. So why the fuck would you give a shit about what they think? You know, keep going out there, keep playing, because eventually what's going to end up happening is if you keep trying, you keep working with it at your craft, you keep perfecting it, eventually what's going to happen is, especially in the day and age that we live in with the internet, your music is going to end up getting out there, especially on social media, to other people that live in completely different areas than you do. And then all of a sudden, people start listening to your music. Other people in different places start liking your music. Hell, if a band from Del Rio, Texas, can get some guy from Milwaukee, Wisconsin to like their music and talk to him on a podcast like we're doing right the fuck now. So anything is freaking possible. Again, Slipknot's a great example. There are probably a bunch of people in Iowa back in the mid-90s are like, this band ain't going nowhere. And now they're probably like, oh shit, they came from the same part of town that we were from. Oh my God, it's Corey Taylor. Oh my God, we're friends. You're the guy that scoffed at me 25 years ago when I said, you know, anything is possible. No, that wasn't me. That wasn't me. You know what? No, we know it was you. And you're just trying to latch on to success right now because you got nothing else going on in your life. Okay, I ranted.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
No,
Agree.
honestly, like, after that experience and a whole bunch of hateful experiences, it just inspires me and the rest of us to just kind of, because at the end of the day, we know we're not buying recognition. We're not, we're not buying recognition. We're not buying, like, we're literally like kicking our own asses trying to pay for these songs because we want more better quality stuff for everybody, like, to listen to. Where whenever we write a song, we're like, is this going to catch people's attention? What do they want to hear? What should, like kind of like, how can we relate closer to our audience? Like, all I know is at the end of the day, we're still out here. We may have fucking shitty equipment, but we make it fucking work. We're working our way up to it. It's not that we don't want to, it's because we don't have the resources, but we're getting our shit out there. We're playing with our hearts. We're playing with our souls. And that's all that fucking matters. And to everybody else, fuck them. Fuck them.
I mean, hell, even for me, I can relate the same thing as well, especially like equipment wise. Hell, I mean, take a look at some of the equipment that I had initially to start this out with. I mean, I literally had a microphone that I plugged straight into my computer. I didn't have any, and I used GarageBand on my Mac to edit all the audio, and it was just, I put something out there, but I did get a couple of messages like, oh man, this podcast sucks. I'm like, yeah, we'll just wait and see what happens. All of a sudden, it's like, I find out something like, okay, this mixer might be better for me. This audio software might be better for me. This style might be better for me. Okay, let's run with it. Let's see what happens. And then all of a sudden, it's just, I'm starting to talk to bands. I'm putting out 2 episodes a week, sometimes even 3 episodes a week. And I'm absolutely loving every single minute of it. And I'm getting people saying like, oh my God, you interviewed this band, you interviewed this band, you interviewed this person. Yeah.
Okay.
It's like, well, how did you get that to happen? Well, let me tell you how I got that to happen, because I fucking worked for it. How about that? And I kind of laugh at it myself too, where it's just, I kind of always like to see those messages come across like, oh, this sucks. You suck, man. And I have a folder. I take a screenshot of all those messages and I put them in that folder and I look at them every now and again. I just start laughing at them. I'm like, you guys literally took the time to come and listen to my stuff. Similar to the people that scoffed at you. You came time to go see the show just to be like, ugh, this sucks. Ugh, I can't believe they said that. I think that's more a reflection on you than it is on us or the band as well, just due to the fact that you took time out of your day to be negative. Mm-hmm. Really?
Yeah, there's enough for that in the world.
There should be like a segment where like what is it on? It's on like Jimmy Kimmel or something, where like their guests read like their hate tweets, but we read your hate messages and we're just roasting the shit out of all those people.
Shit, we just saying like,
so this user or blank said, and then we're like, man, fuck you. Kevin started from the bottom and look at who he's interviewing now.
If you guys have any hate message you have saved right now, if you guys want to start this out, I am more than willing to put this in as like a special segment in this podcast and for podcasts in the future, because I kind of absolutely love that idea.
Well, hell yeah, we could get it started. I think it would be great.
Hell yes. I mean, if you got them on tap right now, pull it up. I mean, I'm more than willing to start this at this given moment.
God, I think we just have memories.
Yeah, they usually just do it in person.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Then how about? I mean, if you remember because I'm sure if you know their names, because it might be some random person, but if you know where it was from, be like, remember this time? Hey, you man, go fuck yourself. Or just telling me like you're gonna end up. If we see you at a show again, we're gonna point you out. We're gonna put you through that fucking wall.
Goddamn. I mean.
I remember one.
Oh, what? Oh, okay, Diego's
okay.
memories.
All right, Diego, let's go.
Okay, so the show that actually got us the first recording, there was a band right there just laughing at us because they're like, high school kids trying to play, and they were like straight up just like dogging us out, and then like we got on stage, they were still laughing. They were just like laughing. I know they were just talking among themselves, and they're like, look at them pointing at us, and then it was whenever we didn't have the same lineup, but still, whenever we played, they were kind of like, they shut themselves down, like they were just like, oh shit.
Oh, was that whenever Pancho was in Dawn at the time?
Yeah.
Oh, when we played at the Edge?
At the Edge.
Oh, you're talking about Edge of Destiny, huh?
Yeah.
Dude, we pulled up taking out all our gear, and we just see that band just sitting down next to their like touring van or whatever, and like we're like scoping the area, like who do we know, who can we talk to, like let's look at where the other bands are so we can like network, or at least me and Diego, because at the time me and Diego were the only ones who were like, we need to talk to people, because the others were
they got the job done, but
yeah, but I don't know, they were still growing up in that sense and kind of like a little scared, a little shy. So we were like, you know what, we got to network and shit. And as soon as we pull up getting our gear, we see that band that's just sitting there, just look up at us, and they're just pointing and scoffing and laughing at us and talking with other people around them, acting like they're all big shit. But
like they didn't know jack shit about us until that performance.
Yeah, and then as soon as we started playing, like even when we were doing our sound check, I wasn't trying to pay attention to them, but they were literally like trying to be audibly like just loud and like ha or whatever. And then we start playing, and all of a sudden like they just kind of like stopped scoffing, and they just kind of like had their head down and shit. But I mean, yeah, there's been that. There's been also where like we don't deserve to play higher in the bill or something because we need to work our way up there, some bullshit like that.
That's complete like ass crap.
Yeah,
because I started a band the same time as them, and we literally started playing later just because we played heavier music.
Yep. If you don't play heavy or punk or drunk, they don't give a fuck about you.
I mean, we play drunk, but it doesn't sound like it. I mean, fuck.
Yeah.
I mean, now we do.
We have a tolerance.
We can take it. They can't.
But yeah, we've gotten shit on like saying like, oh, they can't play higher in the bill even though they've been a band for like 5 years or whatever, because they need to work their way up there. And it's like
the last show we played third though. It's progress.
Yeah, progress done.
I mean,
before we were opening shows and the doors would open 15 minutes before we went on or something like that, and there would be nobody showing up.
Yeah, even one band.
There's
like one band member for one of these like local bands that's like he really hates us. Like he makes it a habit of like screwing us up on our sound check and shit like that.
Oh yeah.
But like behind his back, they come up to us and like, dude, that's fucking badass. I wish I could get you another show and stuff like that. Like that guy doesn't know jack shit of what's going on whenever they talk to us.
Yeah, like not, because we do appreciate that, like at least they have a sound system and they're the ones running the shows, but it's like every single fucking time we're going up to sound check, we're like, hey, so I can't hear my guitar through the monitor, or like, and then everybody in the back, of course there's nobody that we can see like getting like the actual sound from the outside. And I'll be like, hey, I'm not getting anything in here. Is the mix good? Blah, blah, blah. And he'll be like, yeah, it's good. And then all of a sudden we start the performance, vocals get turned all the way up to where Luis is getting feedback, or I suddenly can't hear my guitar.
I can't even hear.
And then he tells me to turn down my amp, and it's just like it's lower than the volume we play to practice.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what do I? But yeah. Long ass tangent, not trying to hate, but it's just like, god damn, like you hate us that much, and like we're trying to play our own shows, but then COVID happened. So
yeah, but once the shit's over, we're gonna make our own fucking scene.
Is it ever gonna be over though?
We'll make something happen.
We'll make it over. There's gonna come a point in time where everyone's just gonna be. I mean, everyone's kind of just sick and tired of it already. Where I mean, there are different places that are starting out putting out having shows. Of course, I don't want to get all like political with it as well, but the money is seriously super tight right now. But as the bigger gatekeepers in the scene, as the money gets even tighter, they're gonna be pushing even more and more to get those bands that are really making them the money back out on stage, back out on tour, which is gonna open everything up for everybody else. One thing I do want to mention too is like when you're talking about this whole entire sound check thing and all these people that are just kind of like scoffing at you and just like not really helping you out. It doesn't make any sense to me, especially for people that love music, just because when it comes to rock and metal, you take a look back at like the 70s, 80s, and 90s, even the early 2000s, like it was the most prominent genre out there. And now, of course, you take a look at other genres like just straight up pop music, hip hop, more that pop country. It seems like it's definitely more in the popular culture mindset of people than rock and metal are. So why would we constantly be trying to battle within each other? Why don't we just like try and make sure that every band does well? Due to the fact that, the more bands that do well, the more people are going to listen to the genre. The more if you're not one of those bands that, just got shot up there, the more chance you're going to have of people recognizing your music and maybe become friends with some of these people that end up shooting up there. And then all of a sudden, hey, you're going on tour. Hey, you get to open up for maybe a couple of shows, and then you get to start going on that process yourself as well. It doesn't make any sense why people have these grudges against any of these bands just because, oh, they're too young. Oh, because they don't look right. Oh, because they don't play the right sound. Oh, because they haven't paid their dues yet to be on the right higher up on the bill. Hell, when it comes to concerts and when it comes to being on the bill, I just want to see the bill constructed so that, going from one act to the next is absolutely fantastic. Like, I don't want to, because I've seen shows where it's probably the biggest example I can put of this is back in 2019, I saw Beartooth, I Prevail, and A Day to Remember. Jesus. And it was Beartooth went on first and it was I Prevail and A Day to Remember. I would have liked to have seen him switch I Prevail and Beartooth, not because of size or album sales or anything like that, but just because I Prevail to start out, people would have gotten a lot more into it had they not been led in by the craziness that is Caleb Shomo and Beartooth, because everyone's expecting them to be super high energy right after that. And with I Prevail's discography, they just couldn't match that up where A Day to Remember easily could have. So it's just kind of like it's kind of like I don't really care about how who's on what side of who's on where on the bill. I just want to make sure for myself that it's a great show going forward so that every time you see a band come up on stage, you're thinking, oh, this band did good. Then this band came on and they did really well. And all of a sudden this band came on. So you're having the best show possible instead of like, oh, we need to be higher up because we've been around longer.
Yeah, most of these guys who are like higher in the bill, they're like, they're just standing there. And like, or they're like, or it's just like a 2-piece or something.
Yeah. I mean, I get it if you're throwing the show.
Yeah.
Somewhat. But at the same time, that shouldn't be mandatory.
There was this one festival that like they had every year before COVID happened. And there was this band that I don't remember their name, but like it was like this random like project idea that like some guys in the scene just kind of like built up, and they only played like 10 minutes of music and it all just sounded like back to back, just like blast beat, like dun 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 dun, dun oh, like that, and that's it. That's all it was. That's literally all it was.
They actually even said that's it.
Yeah, and they were like high in the bill. They were probably like 6th or 7th out of like, I think there's like what, 12 something like bands in that festival, Yuck Fest or something like that. But like it was like and then people were like, why didn't they just go first? Like we were hearing that from people in the audience. But that just goes to show that like they're like, who's heavier or whatever the case may be.
Yeah, and like kind of like what I was saying too is just I want to make sure that the show flows from one end to the next too, because if you get somewhere it's like all of a sudden you're bringing in a show and all of a sudden you're going to have a band in there, all of a sudden they're going to have a band that's opening for the headliner and it's just going to be a complete 180, and where like the opening band and the headlining band are going to be one and the same. Maybe take the ones in the middle, even if they're a little bit larger, put them in the front so you can perfectly lead into what the rest of the show is going to be and really build up on that instead of just trying to play the politics game on this. Now, if you're hosting the show, again, I do understand that fact where you're going to want to put yourself more towards the end to make sure that the crowd is going to be there, that you have the most opportunity to get your music heard. However, again, like Deadboy, what you said, it doesn't have to be mandatory. If you got a band on there that's absolutely killing it and you're hosting the show, hell, put them as the headliner as well, because then all of a sudden more people are going to end up showing up if you have them as the headliner anyway, and you might be playing towards the exact same audience that you would be playing, same size, maybe a little bit more if you put yourself before them. You never know how that might work, but you know what? Why don't we just make the best show possible so that when people end up going home after the show, your band's names and your music is going to be in their minds, but for the positive and not for like, oh, they sounded really weird being placed in here, or oh, maybe this band didn't sound the best just because they could have been a lot higher on the bill, but why are they so low on the bill? Like, instead of having those questions in there, why not have people just enjoy the show and just really have that positive remembrance, that positive mindset leaving the show, so that when they go home, they start, finding your music on Spotify, Apple Music. They even start downloading if they're archaic in that sense, like I am, and then just really start to listen to it and start sharing it with their friends because they have that positive experience and that positive mindset attached to them.
Yeah, that.
Yeah, the biggest problem that our town has is not like placing bands in a flow. Like they'll just put like a rockabilly here and a deathcore here, like ska band here, punk here. Like they'll just mix it up randomly.
Yeah,
Like
it's
there's
all
a certain way you
ranked.
can flow it.
Yeah, like it's literally like all ranked, like just on who's the most. And of course, I understand if there's somebody like most of the shows that happen like spontaneously throughout the year is because like a band from like out of town, like San Antonio or something, or even from out of state that they know like is gonna do a little tour or something, and they wanted Del Rio as the date, you know. So it makes sense why they like go in and like
They're last
like
because
they're
they come
last.
from out of town. That's perfectly sensible.
Yeah, like that makes perfect fucking sense. But like for like all these locals, and it's like a band that just started, or like a cover band that just popped out of the blue, like, hey, let's play this show for the kicks of it, and then they're like third, and then like EPs first or something. It's like, what the heck? And then us, sometimes even we weren't even asked to play.
Yeah.
And that was whenever we were us, and he was in that other band that we were starting up at the same time. And it's just like, it's all just based on heaviness. Like, it's not even based on like.
Yeah, and I'm a witness to it because like they would ask us, and then I would like refer them sometimes and be like, they can open or at least open or play at a certain point, and they're like, they don't fit the genre, and they'll literally have like a fucking different, completely 180 genre.
Yeah,
the same day.
And then it's like there's no like local scene for us because there's like bars that people play at here and stuff. Of course, they're not.
Yeah, here
right
if
now.
you're not a cover band.
Yeah, if you're not like
you're not gonna get attention.
If you're not a cover country band or like Tejano band or whatever,
7 bands
or Blue Oyster Cult.
Yeah, or like playing freaking the shittiest version of freaking Hotel California. like you're not considered fucking shit. So yeah,
I met the guy from the Eagles.
Oh yeah,
nice.
But one thing I was thinking about too is that's when you're talking about that with like, you know, what was I gonna say? Where you're talking about just the show just it doesn't fit the genre, especially coming out of COVID when we do. Can you imagine what some of these lineups are gonna look like with every single band that's trying to get out there, especially more on a major tour? You're gonna see lineups that you never expected to happen. Hell, like we could see all of a sudden have like a hard rock band and then have a ska band in the middle and then have a metalcore band being the overall like headliner, and all of a sudden it's like, yeah, it might like all of a sudden that the biggest band might be the first one on the list, but the show's gonna be damn fun going forward.
Yeah.
Like I remember before COVID happened, I don't know if the show happened or not. I forget what festival it was, but I remember seeing like there was like some bands like freaking, I may be wrong, but I'm just throwing names out there. But you know, like heavy bands like, you know, like Beartooth and like all these older bands that were coming back, like I don't know, but it was all these heavy bands, like, you know, like I think Asking was on it too, and like some old like throwback 80s like metal stuff and all that, or like hair metal stuff. And then boom, you see at the bottom, before he came out with this pop punk shit, MGK was on there too.
Oh yeah.
Before his pop punk shit. And it's like well, you know,
if you do see MGK live, like he plays with a band.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like he always had that punk feel.
Yeah.
When he plays shows though.
That's pretty chill.
But dude, it's like there's that.
When it comes to MGK, I just think of his influences as like a 2008, 2009 walk into a Hot Topic, take a look at the t-shirt wall, and everything on there is MGK's influences.
Mm-hmm.
Get a famous t-shirt.
Just get the old good old MCR Black Parade t-shirt. That's all you need.
Oh yeah.
Just walk in a Hot Topic and see, so what band should I listen to next? Who's on here the most?
Dude, those crazy old shirts with the graphics and the monsters and all the colors. I
miss that shit. I miss that shit so fucking much. I remember I owned this freaking Asking Alexandria shirt. It was that one where it's like that green goopy monster chasing that kid. And he's like, ah. I had that one, but then my mom took it away because she was like, that's for boys. And I'm like,
I had to Bring Me the Horizon one where the little girl was chalking the flower of life and it had an upside down cross on the Bible. And my mom asked me to go to church with her and I didn't have a change of clothes.
No way.
So I just went in that shirt.
No.
Yeah.
Did it burn when you were walking in?
Nah, dude, she made me put a hoodie, but as soon as I walked in, I was like, feast your eyes.
Reverse, bitch.
So as you should have been, you should be like, feast your eyes on this, everybody. Woo!
Goddamn.
But I kind of hope, like, especially with more metalcore bands, like they kind of, or deathcore bands, even they kind of go back to that like goopy monster style T-shirt, because those were always just absolutely hilarious to look at. Though unfortunately, I don't think I actually ever had one. The closest I've come to is all the crazy designs that Ice Nine Kills has come out with recently. So
Yeah.
I have, like, before COVID, I did wear those to work a lot.
My tongue.
He's got like GERD or something.
Oh.
It's just my inner monsters. That's it.
You know, I've been thinking about it. I'm like, we should bring those back, and I'd be down to have a shirt.
Dude, a EP logo or like a EP Goop monster. Louise as the EP Goop monster.
Oh my god,
Dude.
Chasing all of us through the fucking.
He has to be a Chihuahua.
A
pug.
A goop monster, not a
Yes.
dog.
But like a weird dog.
No,
A weird Chihuahua.
a Louise version of Blob from Monsters.
Dude, fuck yeah. Okay, yeah. I like that better.
Okay, that actually sounds very insane. If you guys do make that shirt, can I make a request?
Yes.
What's up?
Yes.
You make sure you let me know where I can buy one.
Oh, at our merch store.
Oh, I think we're gonna get rid of that. Nobody ever used that
So
shit.
well, just DM us.
Yeah, for sure. We'll just ship them or something, or we'll make a new website. We'll figure stuff out for sure.
Or just reinvigorate the one that's out there right now. Hooah! Yeah, reinvigoration.
For
Woo!
Shit.
Let's get drunk for the sign.
Already halfway there. No, I'm kidding. Not even.
You're 3 in.
I'm 1/4 in. It's fine.
I thought we were gonna shotgun.
Oh, well, we could shotgun
In the
after,
second, third song.
or leave it for the grand finale.
All right,
We can leave it for the grand.
we gotta have the
finale.
nerve for that one.
That is true. I mean, you guys can be shotgunning. I can just give out my whole entire, like, okay, this is my full final thought on the EP for everybody to listen to. So yeah, I mean, we can do something like that. But that won't be for another like 25-ish minutes or so.
Pancho had to sneeze.
Bless you.
He didn't want to be in front of the mic.
No, just
That was
COVID safe.
COVID safe. I mean, yeah, that too, I guess.
Yeah, makes
I'll
sense.
sneeze on the mic all day
All right.
when there's no
Anyways.
virus.
All right. All right.
Anyway, but I pretty much when it came to We'll Be Fine, I kind of wasn't expecting the competition to go that way, but I mean, I went full rant mode. We all went full rant mode on some stuff, but it does make sense with that song though, just because you take a listen to it and you really understand, just kind of has more of like a little bit of like that pop punk mixed with emo feel in a way, but it makes total sense to have that in there as well, because it's kind of like, okay, if everyone's going to be just a down out on you, just be like, oh no, you can't do it. Be like, we'll be fine. We got this. Kind of have a little bit of that feeling of just, okay, sometimes it does impact you in a way, but you also can't let it impact you fully to the point where you're going to give up on your dream and then conform to a life that other people think you should have.
Oh hell no.
Oh hell no.
Hell no.
Yeah, hell no. Like
Oh.
I ain't conforming to shit.
Oh yeah. I was like confused with because I was like Pancho.
No. I said hell no, I can conform.
It's like, Punch, what the heck are you doing, man? We're talking good, and all of a sudden you're saying hell no. But yeah, I knew you were going there. Like, hell no, I ain't conforming to anybody's idea for what I should do. Screw that shit.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah.
Screw that. Fucking.
I didn't get my face tattooed for no reason.
Kind of taking the whole entire Travis Barker out on that one, where he got, because I know he got face tattoos like to force himself not to have a backup plan.
Yeah,
Oh yeah.
it works.
It really did work though.
It did, honestly.
But okay, so enough with that track. How about we go to a different one? Because I mean, we basically ran to that whole entire one, which, do not get me wrong, that's actually kind of what I was expecting a little bit also. But I'm very happy we did that, because then people understand, you know, when you're listening to the bands that you just find out about and you're just like, okay, you know, go to a show, people are going to end up probably scoffing you because you just don't fit their idea or you fit what they think. Your first impression to them is not what they expected. So they go, oh, this is not what I expected. What is this? This is not what we need. We need something more heavy. We need something that goes more. We need that. Where is my country music? No, screw that shit. Because, of course, like I said, when people go forward and all of a sudden they're like, oh man, I remember knowing that band. I remember them. They're from my hometown. I'm good friends with them. They're going to try and latch onto your success. So don't pay them no mind.
They do that.
Oh.
Once you're on the paper, the paper's done now.
Yeah, we don't have a paper.
Damn,
We don't have
anymore.
paper
We had no
anymore.
newspaper.
But like you get an article on Facebook from like the local newspaper. It's like, oh, I remember them trying to
They made it.
remember me. I sat like 2 tables away from you in science class. Like, no, I didn't.
Oh my lord.
I didn't even take science. Oh wait, everyone has to
I
take science.
skipped
Shit, never mind.
science. I was in the office for 2 months. Tell me about that again.
Shut the fuck.
Fun fact, that's how we met.
Oh yeah, I met Diego in therapy.
Really?
Yeah, I came back. It was 7th grade. I came back from my counseling therapy shit.
You come up with a sheet.
Yeah, I come into class. I happen to be sitting next to Diego during that time. Never talked to him. It was like a new seating arrangement too. And I sit down and I throw the paper on my desk because that was my hall pass. And then I'm just sitting there and I'm just like, oh, I fucking hate my life. And then Diego's like, oh, you go there too? And then he was like, I just came back. And then he pulls out the paper and we end up realizing we like Pierce the Veil. And so I'm like, I've been trying to start a band. Do you know any instruments? And then he was like, I played drums, or I tried to. And I'm like, well, bring them out. We're having a practice. And then ever since then, me and Diego have been inseparable, besides like the very beginning of EP. But yeah, we've been inseparable ever since 7th grade. And now we're
playing shows.
Dropouts.
Oh yeah, we're dropouts with full albums worth.
Yeah.
Yeah, but how many bands have had members that have gone, or even famous musicians that have gone to college and then just decided to drop out because they wanted to pursue their own career?
I think all 3 of us are college dropouts.
Well, all 4
of us.
Oh yeah, the whole band's a college dropout.
Yeah, the whole band right now is college dropouts.
It was great.
Hey, that's not bad to have. Don't get me wrong. I mean, you're definitely going to have something where you're going to end up focusing more on your own music. And it's just going to be something that's going to be fantastic just because you guys have that dedication. You don't have that fallback plan as well.
Yeah, I dropped out because my other band was going to start touring, and we did. But then, we broke up. And then I was like, I don't want to go back.
I dropped out just because of fucking sadness. And because I was... that's a long story for another song that might drop this summer or something. I don't know.
Coming soon.
Yeah.
The fuck did I even dropped out for? I was bored.
Oh, Diego just got bored. I was sad and was like, I need to get back to the band. I miss Diego.
Oh, the time where it was just us two.
Yeah. But yeah, that's a little fun fact.
A little fun fact I did not know. But you know what? That just makes I'm getting some feedback on your guys' mic whenever I'm talking. Like I'm hearing myself talk within your through your mic as well right now.
Oh, for real? Is the mic connected? Or is our mic connected?
No, the mic is connected, but it's like I'm hearing.
It's just the echo.
Yeah, I'm hearing the echo come off.
Oh, because it's right in front.
Yeah.
Has it been like that the whole time?
Maybe for the past 10 minutes.
Oh shit! Let me see if I can move this back. That's
trippy because the picture didn't move. It's just the computer. It's just weird because usually when you move something, the camera moves.
Well,
is there feedback now?
Well, let me check. Okay, I'm gonna have to edit that out for a couple of minutes. No, there, I get it again. There we go. Yeah, I'm getting full feedback again.
Oh, for real? Shit, maybe I just need to turn this down a little bit.
That's a little.
Okay, how about now? Maybe sound check.
All right, sound check. Nope, I'm hearing it even more now.
For real?
Yeah, it's
maybe
kind
the
of
volume on here.
Yeah, you turn up the volume on the mic. All of a sudden, you said for real. I'm just seeing on the mix right now. It's just went from here to just
I turned. Wait, let me see. Maybe our mic's not connected. Let me see.
Test.
Hold on.
Test.
Where's the settings for the freaking mic?
Hey, technical difficulties. Put a chicken. Get naked.
Buy a chicken, get naked.
Wait, what the
I don't know.
Well, that's definitely.
You know, the chickens at Walmart look kind of thick.
Okay, well,
Slap
I
shit
moved
out.
it. I moved it further. I moved the laptop further back because that's where the sound's coming out, and our mic's like right here.
Okay, we'll try one more time to see if I get the echo coming through. Let's see. Boop 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 ba-doop, boop ba-doop ba-doop, boop boop ba-doop, ooh, ooh, ooh. Okay,
Get it
I
right.
think we might be fine.
Or, because I could turn that up and turn the mic down.
No,
Maybe
it's just-
that's
Yeah. You know what? Let's just stick with it because I should be able to, potentially go through and like. Oh no, wait, that's even worse now. Oh God.
for real.
Yeah. I have no idea why I'm getting all this echo off of this right now.
Okay, how about now?
Okay. I mean, pretty much. Let's just. It always starts out where. Yep, there it is again. Yeah, it's like if I get a little bit loud, all of a sudden, like the echo starts to come through. I should be. You know what? Let's just not worry about it because I'll try and just cut all this out during, like, when I'm done doing this. It'll take me a lot longer to get this stuff done, but you know what? It'll probably be the easiest solution, honestly.
All right. Because I'm trying to see what we could do on our end, so it's a lot like less work for you. Because
What?
that's so weird how it happened out of the blue.
Well, the first like 45, 50 minutes are fine. So, I mean, I got like a halfway point where I can start to look at this stuff and kind of try and put this all in perspective. So we'll see what happens.
All right, cool.
Jeez.
Alrighty. So, well, because we've gone through, somewhat of 3 songs, kind of, I would say like 2.5 where we went through. July went through Dog Days. We also went through, We'll Be Fine, everything that entailed behind that, and then the whole entire rant situation for everyone that's getting caught up at home right now. So, hello, everyone at home. But there are 2 other songs that are on this EP. One's called If I Had the Nerve, one's called The Better Half as well. And I think if I saw correctly, there is a video for The Better Half, like an acoustic version out on YouTube. I think I saw that, but I really don't remember.
Yeah, there was. That was for because that was whenever COVID first happened, and we were like, well, we need to put out some content. We haven't put out anything since we really haven't put out anything, and we need to put out more stuff. And that song was already written. Obviously, we had some demos up on YouTube. Basically all of our demos, we had them up. And but I took them all down because I knew we're coming out with the EP, like let's get rid of these old shitty recordings, that we did in this room here with some shitty mics and all that stuff. So but we decided, like, we should come up with some content. Maybe we should do some stripped down stuff since we can't meet up in groups. So we just, our friend had a projector that she found, and which is the same friend who got us the permission to record the June Light music video at that hotel pool
And did the camera work.
So shout out to Destiny for that. Destiny Sportsman, we love you.
Hey, marry me.
Marry me. Nah.
I'm your biggest fan.
But she was like, I have a projector, and like it's like a trend now to like have a projector and like do photo shoots and stuff. I'm like, well, we're trying to do an acoustic version. It would be really cool if we had a video. So we just kind of did like a 2-in-1 tackled type of project. So we did that, and I featured some vocals on it. And me and Luis were like, since it's just me and you, let's make the most of it. And we recorded that with the Guitar Hero microphone. So, yeah, I tried my best to like just mix all that and like try and compress everything. If you listen really close, because we recorded the guitar and most of the vocals in Bertha, which is Luis's van.
Which will feature in the new... Ooh, were we supposed to announce that?
I mean, we can.
Bertha will be featured in the new music video coming soon.
I get to see Bertha?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you get to see Bertha.
And her inside.
And her insides.
Oh, God, that sounds dirty in a way. But here's the question.
I mean, it looks dirty.
And the inside of Earth, is there like the soul like 70s Vans out with the shag carpeting?
There is carpet, but it's mostly a blanket.
There's a sarape in the front, which is like a Mexican blanket.
Yeah.
Just in the front, like on like the dashboard, and the back it's just a mess. You'll understand whenever the music video comes out, which will probably be after the release of the EP, hopefully.
Understandable. And one thing I do want to jump back to like the whole music video thing with June Light as well, because it did seem like with the recording of it, it kind of had that recording of like a shot on a home video camera feel to it, similar to kind of like Foo Fighters did back in 2011 with the White Limo video. Kind of had a little more of like this grainy, like just real more down home quality to it, where it's just raw, bare bones, basic in terms of just you're not putting too much in there, you're not going with these like crazy just like what a bunch of metalcore bands were doing, were like, oh, like especially like 2008, 2019, where like they're in a room with all these like lasers and shit. Like, no, this is just like going back to the basics on this, and it really did work out well, especially just kind of having more of this relaxed feel, but also just kind of having that cocky sound on June Lied in with this just like full on home video shot style music video actually worked out pretty well.
Yeah, fun fact to that, Destiny just kind of whenever I got the footage back, I was like, why is it square? Like I was like, why is it square? And Destiny was like, I don't know. And she was like, oh, I shot it in this, like in these, like this aspect ratio. And I was like, oh fuck. So I just kind of like, because I wasn't trying to have those bars on the side. Like those black, like you know what I'm talking about, like whenever it's like the video is like square and you don't want those sidebars. I was like, nah, this is like a official video. So I'm like, fuck. So I was there just, what do I do? And then I knew that if I stretched it out, because that was the only workaround, was just to stretch it out, or else all the frames would be cut, like our heads would be cut off and it's just our torsos dancing. So like I was like like what do I do? And I was like, I guess I'll stretch it, but it looks old now. It looks all grainy. So I'm like, I'll just, you know, it'll look, the whole vibe's just summer equals home style video. Maybe it's meant to happen this way. So it ended up working out that way. But luckily we remembered for this Dog Days video. So so it's actually shot in the correct frames.
It was fun to shoot.
Very
fun to shoot.
But June Lied was kind of like, we like unintentionally shot that video to look like a homemade video.
But unintentionally, it felt like it absolutely worked. So I do have to give you some kudos on that one. And now I'm really expect because I think you guys said it was, if the video that you're going to be shooting for this EP is going to be for the titular song Dog Days, I mean, especially with the way I talked about it earlier, I'm really excited to see what that is, especially get to see Luis's van in there.
Hell yeah. Definitely expect some, a little bit of kind of like a
lot of Shiner,
a lot of storyline, a lot of us basically being us.
Both sides of us. And you'll see what we mean whenever that video comes out. But there's two sides of us, most definitely.
Well, I could ask what both those sides were, or I could just not ask it, keep up the intrigue, and make people just be like, okay, when this comes out, what do they mean by the two different sides of them? So I'm going to go with the intrigue side. I'm just going to let it be and just make people wonder. And then when it comes out, then they can see for themselves.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah.
And then when it comes out, it's just a bare picture of my butt. It's the rear side.
The rear side.
Wouldn't be the first time I've seen something like that happen.
Actually, true.
Yeah.
You do that a lot.
Yeah, I like mooning people.
I'll say there has been one time on the podcast at a band on called Modern Day Escape, and their lead singer was constantly changing the background on the Zoom call. And at one point he had some like Baywatch looking David Hasselhoff, like young kind of looking guy in a Speedo, just like laying on the beach, just like,
huh.
full spread chicken wing.
Pretty much, yeah. Well, two of the other guys, they had they were on the sides and they had their mic in the middle, and then they ended up doing the virtual background and have Harambe as the virtual background, but Harambe's mouth was covered up by the mic, so it was absolutely perfect to have that in there. So I was like, you know what? If I'm gonna get somewhere, all of a sudden this video is just gonna be a picture of Dead Boy's butt. You know what? That's not gonna surprise me.
I'm so for that.
So I mean, by both sides, you mean left and right cheek?
Yeah.
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 One cheek experiences the most stuff. So, right.
Yeah, it's gotta be both cheeks. You can't just throw the left and just not give the right. That's not right.
One tear in the other.
No, you can't. Otherwise, it's just going to be weird if you just get one cheek. I mean, who wants one cheek?
Yeah, they're gonna be like, "What is that? A paper plate?"
Paper plate.
Oh God, I'm gonna be thinking about paper plates and butts and oh dear God. Okay, I'm gonna have nightmares when I go to bed at night of that. So
that's an interesting nightmare.
Hey man, weirder stuff has happened. Trust me.
Those are my wet dreams.
Oh wow.
All right, so
wow.
I'm taking a look at the time right now. We're kind of coming closer to that like endish point of the podcast, and how I want to end this one is, of course, when it comes down to it, when I do EP reviews or album reviews or whatever it is, I always end up going on my rating scale, a scale of 0 to 10, and I always say 10 is like the Suffer and the Witness album by Rise Against, and 0 is like I don't know, I'm trying to think of something that was just absolutely like horrible and inaudible. Maybe that like one band that you guys played with on that one bill where like they went on for 10 minutes and just were like done. It might be theirs, but that's a 0. So really, when it comes down to it, I had to take a look at absolutely what I liked about this EP. And if you want, and the YouTube video with the whole entire EP review, we're going to go a lot more in detail with in terms of what I think about it, where I'm just going to kind of do the run through here. What I really liked about this album was the more ranging styles that you guys had in this, with that loose pop punk sense that really kind of had more of this pop punk feel on certain tracks like June Lied. A little bit of that pop punk emo mix, like We'll Be Fine. A little bit more of the emo mix, and If I Had the Nerve. And of course, that polished punk Rise Against inspired style on Dog Days. I absolutely love the fact they're able to mix so many different things and show off that range, especially for the future. And then Dog Days, one of my favorite tracks. Honestly, it was just absolutely fantastic hearing that perfect mix of like the Siren Song and the counterculture style Rise Against song, but perfectly for you guys. And then of course, I threw in there, I still have to put that in there, is the line from June Lied as my absolute, one of my favorite things. So when it comes down to it, I always do final thoughts as well. So I'll do the rating after the final thought. So final thought, I was curious to see how Expecting Perfection were going to come off with this debut EP following the June Lied single, but they really came out here with a fantastic EP that you need to listen to. When it comes to their sound, really focusing on a loose pop punk sound as their core really lets them play with other sounds such as emo and polished punk sounds of Rise Against, but their dedication to the sound, the construction of the songs, and their overall vibe make this EP fantastic and full of life. Once again, the line that Ari wrote on June Light is still one of the best things I have heard, and if you're looking for a line that amplifies the quality of this EP, that is it. Overall rating out of 10, I'm giving this one a bing bang boom. I'm giving it an 8 out of 10. So, hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
And if you guys want to watch the YouTube video as well, I think I'm coming out with the YouTube video like hours before this podcast drops as well. So just go to YouTube. I'll have the video link in the description as well for you guys to check that one out, because it's going to be a good one too.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, I'm excited.
Shit.
So as we kind of bring this one to a close, is there anything else going on in the future with you guys? I know with Texas, like you said, kind of some more stuff opening up. Any live shows coming up in the future, anything like that? Or is it still just going to be grinding away, working on the release EP, some videos, and then, of course, continue to write music for that first potential banger of an album?
I think right now we're hoping to do some type of kind of like a live stream, but not really a live stream. We'll have like a pre-recorded live stream. If things don't turn out, we'll just have like a video uploaded of a show, so to speak. But what we really want to aim for is some type of pre-recorded live stream where we have pre-recorded video of our our performances along with one of our friends, who hopefully is still able to do it. He's a rapper and stuff. He was like one of the old temporary bassists for EP.
Shout out Santa Cruz.
Yeah, shout out Santa Cruz. And we want to do some type of like live stream show or something where it's already pre-recorded, and whenever it's the day of the EP release, we do the live stream show on YouTube, on our YouTube channel, and just kind of, so that we're able to also interact with the chat and make sure that there's no issues. So we're trying to do something like that. If it doesn't end up being a pre-recorded live stream that goes live and we chat with everybody, then it'll most definitely be just a video uploaded of us performing. But we're hoping for that pre-recorded live, and video coming out pretty soon. We'll see if it happens before or after the release. And for sure, the album, we don't know when that's going to start being recorded. I know Chris from Rosartis is letting us go in to record some demos, and kind of get some like kind of like a retrospect as to how we're gonna attack it and stuff, instead of recording our demos by ourselves. So hopefully that'll get done. Pretty sure we're gonna release a single in the summer that's already recorded.
Mm-hmm.
Like as we speak, it's already ready to go. We're just waiting to release it for later as we're working on the album. But other than that, I think that's pretty much it.
Oh yeah.
And I guess just to end it off, we've got a little bit of
bubbly.
A little bit of
bub.
bubbly.
If we want to shotgun, or do we just
toast or shotgun?
Let's go toast.
Let's go toast.
We're gonna be calm this time.
All right. I'll bite mine.
Okay. Toast. Dog days.
Dog days.
Yes. Alrighty, now time for me to close this one out the best way I know how. So when it comes to expected perfection, when it comes to... Oh my God, that boy. Oh dear God, he almost fell out of the chair. So, okay, now I got to close this one out right. So when it comes to expected perfection, the Dog Days EP, when you guys are figuring out where you want to listen to it, how you want to listen to it, where you want to find them on their socials, how to get connected with them, make it as easy as possible for you. So go to the description of the podcast, YouTube, Spotify podcast, Google Play, iHeartRadio. There's going to be links that say Find Expected Perfection online, and you're going to have all the links there. It's a one-click, one-tap, one-stop shop for you to get in with Expecting Perfection. Very simply, very easily. I make it as easy as possible, guys, so you guys cannot fail on this. Also, Dog Days EP coming out on February 26th. Go listen to it. If I'm giving an 8 out of 10, that means you should be listening to it. So make sure you do. I also have the full review video on our YouTube page. Also, the link for that in the podcast description below. And two other things. One, when I finally get a chance to meet you guys in person and see you live, I'm not going to do the first rounds on me. I'm just going to bring a couple of cases of Shiner and we're just going to party.
Oh, yeah. That's better.
We're always fucking down for Shiner. I'll tell you that much. If you get your hands on the cans, even better.
I'll drop my pens.
First 12-pack, gone. Shotgun.
We had to go to HEB specifically to get this. They don't have cans anywhere else in town.
Oh, I've seen it plenty.
Yeah, here.
Does Wisconsin have a
HEB? They don't have HEBs.
No, but I mean,
I'm saying, do?
No, we don't have HEBs. I was saying we've got a bunch. I've seen Shiner only in cans up here, and I know exactly where.
Oh, really?
Oh, for real? Literally here, everywhere, it's mostly bottles. You can only get the cans at the Texas store, which is HEB. Pretty sure they got HEBs other places.
I think it's only a texting. I'm well aware of HEB though, with all the crazy commercials they had with the San Antonio Spurs back in like the last 5 years.
Mm-hmm.
So don't worry. When I get to see you guys for the first time, whether it's in Texas, in Wisconsin, or wherever the heck it is, I'll make sure I bring the Shiner. That's pretty much it. I'm not going to say first rounds on me because I'm just going to bring a couple of cases and we're just going to see what happens.
Oh yeah, Shiner or just straight up normal Jack Daniels. That's how we roll. There's no in between.
Special occasions are Jaegers. Special occasion.
Yeah.
All right. So again, to close this out, again, all the links for all their socials where you can find the Dog Days EP is in the description. 2, when I see you guys live for the first time, I'm bringing the Shiner. I'm bringing the Jack potentially. That boy, you and I are jumping off a roof into a pool or something like that. I don't care how we're doing it. We're going to make it happen. So on that note, I cannot end this episode with a goodbye because I've had you on this podcast twice. Planning on hopefully for a third time, maybe one that album ends up being released, whenever that is. And, well, because I gotta bring the shiner, I gotta bring the jack, we gotta jump into that pool, man, from the roof. We got plans. So I can't end this with a goodbye. I gotta end this with my favorite thing. See you later.
Hey.
Well, folks, that's my interview with the band Expecting Perfection of Del Rio, Texas. I probably messed that up really badly, but whatever. When it comes to the Dog Days EP, once again, everybody, that comes out on February 26th. That is a Friday. That is the Friday after this podcast releases. So when it comes to making sure you listen to that EP, because it is damn good. I said 8 out of 10. Like, that is fucking awesome. Take a look at the description of the podcast. All the audio streams for it, Spotify, Apple Music, are going to be there for you. Also, you can find them on social media where you can find all our stuff. So thank you guys for watching. And that's me for today, guys. Thank you for watching and listening to the Chord Progression podcast with Emma City Rocks, where rock and metal thrive. My name is Kevin, and you guys know how I am every single way. That was the big, healthy, and hearty. See ya! Yeah!